want to talk to you about museums and access. So access is defined in the dictionary in two ways. One, a means of approaching or entering a place. Two, the right or opportunity to use or benefit from something. So I have benefited from museums nearly all my life, and I think that everyone deserves to access museums, and everyone has the potential to gain something important from them. Yet, I have witnessed that certain groups of people have traditionally had less access to museums than others. Among them are youth, underserved populations, and lower socioeconomic classes. Since my family immigrated to the Bay Area from China in 2006, we have taken full advantage of Bay Area museums. Growing up, I have always had a huge passion for art and making art, but instead of going to art classes, my parents took me to museums. I started attending children's art programs every weekend at various museums in the city from the age of 7. I am so nostalgic about those times because I remember feeling absolutely ecstatic about the art I saw in the galleries and so inspired to make my own art afterwards. In high school, I started bringing my own sketchbook and pen to the museums to sketch. During my sophomore year of high school, I discovered the Teen Art Connections program at the Contemporary Jewish Museum. At that time, I desperately wished to involve myself more with the museums that I loved to visit. So I began as a volunteer at the museum, and when the application season rolled around for the Teen Art Connections program, I was eager to apply. And here I am today as a junior and as a TAC intern. This year, I've had joyous, educative, and memorable times. The CJM is an exciting and humbling place to learn, work, and play. The TAC program, as well as Access 18, encourage youth involvement and welcome them to contribute their presence and ideas. As interns, we explore the CJM's core purpose, how the CJM can be an engaging forum for diverse audiences where new perspectives on Jewish culture, history, art, and ideas thrive. My personal definition of the word diversity includes race, gender, class, religion, background, nationality, health, interests, viewpoints, and experiences. A progressive society is one that embraces diversity and encourages people to grow outside their boundaries. As a TAC intern here this year, I've had the opportunity to experience how the CJM's core purpose manifests in its Access program. In October, I witnessed the museum's core purpose come to life when the CJM hosted a free and open rehearsal session for the Bay Area's awesome orchestra. The performance was a part of the CJM's Art Beyond Sight workshops, which seek to make the museum more inclusive for people with disabilities, the purpose being to let visitors experience and connect with art in ways that don't just rely on seeing. From noon until 3, the museum's entire lobby was packed with performers, young and old, differing in musical experience and background. They played well-known pieces by Jewish composers such as Mahler and Bernstein, but their performance was completely unconventional, quirky, and jubilant. The awesome orchestra challenged my preconceived notions about orchestras. Orchestras conjured up images of highly trained musicians dressed in stark white and black uniforms who delivered impeccable performances. In my mind, orchestras belong to fancy concert halls and classical music connoisseurs. The awesome orchestra was so non-traditional and different. The performers and the atmosphere they created were free from conventions. I felt astonished and moved. The musicians rehearsed, created music, made mistakes, and paused to give critiques and to laugh. It gave me immense inspiration to witness this process of collaboration, problem-solving, learning, and creative exploration. I realized that these qualities are quite exactly the purposes of a forum. Furthermore, the orchestra itself represented a diverse group of people, and their audiences came to the museum with different intentions and expectations. For example, there were visitors who had purposefully come to see the orchestra play, but there were also visitors who were visiting the museum and had not expected the orchestra. I was one of those people. Like others, I was so surprised and exhilarated. The last piece of this experience with Art Beyond Sight was that I walked away with a new perspective about orchestras, art, and museums that challenged stereotypes and broke conventions. That week, I remember feeling overworked by school and other responsibilities in life, a feeling not uncommon to those who are in their junior year of high school. The single encounter uplifted my spirits and enlightened me about the meaning of human connection and art. I returned home feeling completely refreshed, like a new person. It is moments like these that I completely cherish, that I've made my time as a TAC intern at the CJM transformational to me personally, intellectually, and emotionally. In reflecting about my experiences with the TAC program and the Access program, I began to look back at the museums in my home country with curiosity. What do museums in China look and feel like? And what does Access actually mean in their context? Last winter break, I visited a few of China's museums, which made a big impression on me. In Shanghai, I visited one of the private museums constructed in 2003. The art was beautiful, perfectly lit and displayed, and the layout of the rooms made the exhibit navigable and elegant. Yet the museum was deserted. There was virtually nobody with me in the galleries, and the atmosphere was unnaturally quiet and still. I felt as though I had the whole museum to myself. So I was astonished and puzzled by the dichotomy of attendance and caliber. In my mind, this museum deserved better attendance, and more importantly, people deserved to experience this museum. After some research, I learned that one of the biggest problems in China's museums is access. The issue is multifaceted. There could be socio-cultural barriers, location and transportation hurdles, and educational barriers, because Chinese schools emphasize high school and university entrance exams, leaving students with little or no time to browse museums. Furthermore, the people don't see the value of museums. China doesn't have museums in its blood. I believe that museums have the power to transform lives. That is why I want to share this knowledge with other people, so that they too can understand that museums can add more meaning to their lives if they're willing to go out to explore and discover it for themselves, not without, of course, the help of museums. This is where access programs become a crucial asset to visitors and an essential responsibility of the museum. My current goal is to channel the inspiration and experiences gleaned here at the CJM over the year into an Access project back in China. My family will travel to Shanghai this summer, and we will work together on this project. I'm so grateful for the TAC program for inspiring this mission, and I have great hopes for this summer. Thank you.
I have come full circle. In fact, I have done a second lap.